Hi, I'm David Norris, and I'm serving up the perfect podcast, Pompey Platter with Russ, Daz and Haz. Play up, Pompey!
Murphy scores! A magnificent goal! That's just wonderful from Josh Murphy! Shaughnessy, great saving! Shaughnessy at the near post! Chance for Colby Bishop over the goalkeeper, off the post and into the back of the net! Colby Bishop! Lang's got his fourth! A fourth for Callum Lang!
Hello and welcome to the Pompey Platter podcast, season 2, episode 27. Terry fucking Devlin. What a boy. This week I am joined by Haz as always. Hello Haz.
Good evening, how are we?
All good, mate. And Daz is currently stuck in traffic in Paris. He was going to join us, but can't at the moment. So Miltos has come on and happily joined us. Good evening, Miltos. How are you?
Good evening, lads. I hope I do a good enough job filling some really big shoes. And I'm doing all right.
I'm sure you will. Don't worry. Daz, we've got his P45 ready just in case you do that well.
Oh, yeah. Daz, you could be sacked, mate. So
Outside the transfer window.
That's all right. We deregister him.
No, remember, it's not deregistering. It's just not registering them. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but now it's February. Surely we have to deregister.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right. So tonight we're going to have a look at the two previous games of Sheff United at home and Charlton away. Then we'll look at the two games coming up against Milwall and Wrexham, both away. And then we'll just have one of Haz's, Harry's, Who Am I's, and that will be it. This should be a short one.
Any other business as well?
And any other business, if anyone's got anything.
Some comments from the owner maybe in an interview we did in America.
Have we not spoke about that yet? God, it feels like ages ago.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't it feel like ages ago since we?
Yeah.
Anyway. Right, we'll get to that. Right. So Saturday, Sheffield United. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I came away absolutely like, what have I just watched? Of half time, I kept turning to my dad and saying we need to score. They're not going to come out and be this shit in the second half. I think we had 13 shots in that first half.
Yeah.
And you just felt like if a goal weren't coming, we're going to throw this away. I'm sure I weren't the only one that felt like that.
No, and it's the second game running where, on paper, you look at the amount of shots, it's like over 35 shots over the last two, over Preston away and Sheffield United at home. 35 shots on goal. Obviously, that's not just all on target. It was 23 shots just in the Sheffield United game, was only 7 on target. So it's not a great deal on target. If you kind of compare it, you want to be 23 shots and probably 15 or 16 on target, really. But it comes down to teams that you play against. It's a perfect away day for Sheffield United, really. They're really one of those teams that if they turn up, they're great. If they don't, they're crap. And they didn't really turn up and they managed to hold on. Foot Mob gave Michael Cooper the player of the match, which doesn't surprise me. Again, Preston keeper got man of the match as well. And they just hung on to it and we just didn't do enough. Again, it felt a bit all fart, no poo. It kind of, we were doing all right until the end. And then it was the end product was just missing and it didn't matter really who we had on the pitch. I think it was more frustration than anger. But with Preston loss, the other games went with us. Other teams around us lost. Whereas when it came to Sheffield United, one, it's so disappointing to lose literally in the last minute. And obviously there's no time to come back because you're too low. But, Blackburn popped up with a result and other teams got points. So when you think, okay, you can let Preston go, we've got away with it. It was just, I think it's more frustration because the playing was there and we were definitely the better team. But you've got to make sure when you're on top like that, you've got to make sure you put out performances. And luckily, it kind of skipping quickly to Charlton, we did do that.
I think the biggest issue for me, it was actually watching it back. Because at the time it felt like, and obviously we were on top and we obviously did, you don't have 13 shots if you're not creating. But only two you would look at and actually go, they're the only two that we probably should have scored. The rest were all kind of huff and puffs. And that's the Devlin should have scored, funny enough. Move on to that in a bit. Probably the easier of the 3 shots he's had.
Yeah.
And somehow blazed over the bar when it looked like this was going to be a goal. And then Segasic hit probably too sweet of a volley that it's one of them where if it probably come off his shin a bit or sort of, hit the side of his foot, it would have gone in. But, there is one talking moments of, the disallowed goal for Bishop. At the time, I didn't get it, and it's a shame because it might have gone down as one of our best goals I've ever watched. Because it was all one-touch, lovely football.
Yeah.
But then, watch it back on the replay, it is unfortunately a free kick. Unless you see it differently, Has.
No, yeah, again, I thought when it happened, I thought he'd booked Ibu for diving. I thought he'd booked him for simulation, and I didn't actually see the ball go in the back of the net. And then watching back, it's the right call because he stands on Siriki. Siriki's the one that toe pokes it to Bishop. It's not even Ibu.
No, Adams was trying to shoot, wasn't
he? Yeah, Ibu doesn't even flick it to Bishop. It's Siriki that gets the touch, and he then stands on his foot. So it was unpopular at the time, but unfortunately the referee got the correct decision. But again, you can't kind of just put it down to that.
No,
it's just, it's what we've been lacking all seasons, isn't it? Even in games that we've lost, apart from like Birmingham where we got swept aside and a couple of other games, the majority of games we've been in them and we have created chances. We've not done what we did against Charlton. No. We've not taken those chances and put the ball in the net when we've gone on top, and then we have suffered.
Definitely. No, I totally agree there, mate. Miltos, anything you want to talk about the game? Anything you want to add? Or
I think you guys were spot on, honestly.
The ground?
Yeah, honestly, I think we were pretty decent again, just like we were against Preston. I thought we played with a real purpose and the real energy against Sheff United. I thought we created more than enough in that first half to be leading. But coming off the back of that half, still at 0-0, I just felt what was coming after that. And it was unfortunate that we weren't able to capitalize. And look, I think it is a foul again on the goal, in Colby's goal. But there is another world where the referee doesn't see that. And it's just small margins like that where had we been a bit more lucky, especially with the half chances that we created, we had a couple of clerical chances, but then a lot of opportunities that were close to being chances, really good chances, but we weren't able to convert them. Had we been a bit more clinical and ruthless when it mattered most, then I think that's a game that we should absolutely walk away with 3 points. And there is no excuse. And Chris Wilder admitted that as well, that their win was based mostly on mentality and sticking their act together right until the end. At the same time, we didn't do that. And that ultimately costed us.
Yeah, no, definitely. Last thing I would probably bring up about the game is probably more the more worry. Well, don't get me wrong, the subs were poor at the time, but then hearing Messino's thoughts about it, sounded to me, he was quite happy with the draw.
Yeah, I mean,
which was odd because
if beginning of the
should have gone for
season, right, you look through fixtures and you think, well, you would probably take a draw to Sheffield United, but yeah, the subs were bizarre. It felt like we were screaming for a bit of width. Obviously, Segacic ended up injured, but it felt like Dazelle taking off Swanson for Williams, and then Swift off for Pack. It didn't really seem to make much sense because Dazelle had already gone down by that point, hadn't he?
Yeah,
he'd already gone down and was laying on the floor. And it really surprised me that it was Swift that went off. One, because Swift had made more of an impact in the game than Dazelle, but also the fact that Dazelle had been limping around and could barely walk. So that didn't make sense. It then didn't make sense when he then brought on Brown for Segacic. So then you've taken off both 10s. He stuck Ibu as the 10. He's then put Brown, who's supposedly a striker, although he's kind of a forward that can kind of play anywhere. But you've got Caballero on the bench. The subs just didn't seem right. And normally Messino's really good with his subs. And you can't go in on him too much because as I said, his substitutions are normally pretty good and they do make an impact. But I thought he did get it wrong on this game, and a mixture of us not taking our chances and then a mixture of poor substitutions. Ultimately, you're always going to be open to a chance on the counter attack, especially with the pace of people like Brooks and the goal I'll quickly touch on the goal for them. It was very poor.
It was about 4 players' fault for that goal.
Yeah, I don't know. Pack was kind of jockeying, and for some reason Ogilvy didn't track.
Yeah, Ogilvy
stopped and wanted Pack to carry on, which I didn't understand because Pack stood still when Ogilvy's the one keeping up with the overlapping player. Yeah. And then you get to LaRue's just stood like a statue. Oh, no, sorry, Williams is stood like a statue. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. LaRue got drawn to the ball.
And LaRue just lets his man go to the back post.
And which is even more frustrating because you actually see Schmid tell LaRue to go to the man and he didn't.
Yeah, so it's a sloppy goal to concede, but in this league, you don't take your chances, you get punished.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It was a bizarre game. Bizarre from Messina. It was just one of them, unfortunately.
But we rectified it with Tuesday.
Yes, and then we can move on to Tuesday now with, well, let's just say after 38 seconds, I thought, here we go.
Yeah.
I thought, for fuck's sake, come on, lads. Amazing save by Schmid. It kind of reminded me, not particularly, I'm not saying the shot was reciprocally the same as the one against Coventry last season, but I meant more as the moment of, if Coventry gone 2-0 up when Lang got his 4 goals, that could have changed the season. This could be a season-changing save as well.
Yeah, it's so early, and I mean, we haven't started yet, really, had they? Obviously, Lyndon Dykes, I think was it Dykes up front?
Yeah, it was though. Well, I put it on, and I think I was just doing something quickly, and all of a sudden I just hear Andrew Moon going, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, well, Lyndon Dykes wins the header, and again, apart from that, he didn't really win many headers against Ogilvy and Paul. No. Again, they did really well. Apart from literally the whole team did really well, apart from the first minute.
Yeah.
Apart from Nico, obviously, and you're right. It is a game-changing save because Harry Clark should do better for me, but you don't take anything away from that save. I mean, I said to you, I don't know anyone else. I can't think of another goalkeeper that isn't at like the top level, like Premier League, Champions League kind of esque. That is that good at 1v1s. When we used to watch Will Norris and there used to be a goal scorer go through 1v1. You're a bag of nerves. You think, sure, we're going to concede. Nico's got such ability and belief in himself alongside it that he doesn't go down too early. So many keepers go down too early. They pick a side and they go, and the striker can wait. Nico's got that ability to be able to wait as the keeper. He's got good positioning most of the time, like 90% of the time. He's got the right stance to push either side, and he puts the ball kind of back in the court, like for the striker or the attacker. Because normally the attacker waits for the keeper to go and then they go the other way. But Nico makes them go so late that they start to panic because he hasn't moved. And I genuinely haven't seen a keeper in this low down have that ability. And again, it's proven so many times 1v1, especially Coventry last year is the one you mentioned. And from then on, that was kind of like the kick up the arse that the players needed. And then from then, there was only one team in it the whole game. Yeah. Charlton were generally up there with West Brom for being that shit.
They were awful, and they just turned into this dirty, nasty, and I don't get this.
It doesn't surprise me with that little rat of a manager that they've got.
No, because I couldn't quite understand their fans, even on social media after the game. I can understand in the stadium, things look different in the stadium. Until you go and watch it and you go, oh yeah, shit. But like they're calling the ref a cheat, so many yellow cards, but they all were justified.
I'm sorry, but they were.
There was one that for me should have been a red. Did one of them elbow over
Miles Lieburn? That should have been a red because he elbowed him in the head.
Yeah.
Harry Clark, he hacked him down. Luke Chambers hacked him down. Lieburn elbowed him in the face. Yeah. Thomas Kaminski got booked for protesting about the penalty, which was quite clearly a penalty because it's hit his arm is out and raised.
Yep.
And then Connor Coventry came on in the second half. Literally, it took him 8 minutes to get booked for hacking someone down. And Lloyd Jones got booked, and then Sonny Carey got booked as well. Like, they were saying, we were diving. They were literally like volleying and elbowing our players constantly. You can't moan about. I don't think the referee had a bad game, to be fair. And I know it's easy to say that when we're on the winning side, but you can't complain when you're just hacking players down.
No, it was bizarre, very bizarre. But let's. Terry Devlin picks the ball up, 25 yards out?
At least he went for a little jog, didn't he?
And then he just hit it, and I was shocked it went in. It was one of them moments where you thought, the keeper's got this. And then it was suddenly with the net, and you're like, oh, fuck.
The only thing I can think of is that there were a couple of bodies in front of Kaminski. And obviously you've been a keeper in various places before, but for me, maybe he didn't see it until late. And the ball did have a bit of movement, obviously. Not much movement as the second goal, but it did have a bit of wobble on it. So maybe with the wobble and the fact that there were bodies in front of him, he didn't see it until it was too late. But it was poor goalkeeping for me.
I agree with that if it had gone to the side of him. The fact that his legs were just not where it should be, that like the whole reason why goalies go down with their knee facing in is to stop that from happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he just went down with his legs wide open.
Just sat on his arse.
Yeah, it was awful goalkeeping. Awful. There is no excuse. As I said, if it swerved and maybe he thought it was going one way and it gone the other, but no, it went straight through his legs. There's never an excuse for that for a goalkeeper, in my opinion. And he would own that. He would own it and say he got it all wrong.
I think we're here. Charlton are normally our bogey team. And obviously, this is our first double over them since '86.
Bad. So, as I said to you the other day, not at the Valley. We've got a good record at the Valley.
No, we do. And Terry Devlin's put himself up there with some mega players in D'Alessandro and
Patrick Berger.
Thanks, my brain went blank then. But Kaminski obviously got sent off against Luton at Fratton Park. 27 minutes, 2 yellows, wiped out Ogilvy and then carried on. It was like, all right.
Yeah, I don't think...
he's not very good. And the fact the guy that played in the Premier League a couple of years ago, you're thinking, what the fuck?
Oh, no.
And he's got a cap for Belgium.
it is crazy. Swift, for me, was outstanding. Especially in the first half. Pulling the strings, creating things, and I was loving Caballero on the right. Chaotic, but I loved that sort of chaotic side of him. But
it was causing problems.
Yeah, and what I loved was that goal. The penalty doesn't happen with Chaplin or Segasic on the right wing.
No, because he went to the byline, towards the byline, didn't he, rather than cut in
and just crossed it in. clear handball. Like, I couldn't understand it was the clearest handball I've seen all season. Doing, and the protests about it was just laughable. But what a moment for Bishop. I cannot deal with Twitter slagging him off at the moment. It's driving me insane. Like as Messina said after the game, it's not like he's missing 8 chances a game and things like that. I think I said it in the group chat. For me, the quality of delivery from us this season has been woeful.
He's not been getting the same service as last year, is he?
No, even like on Saturday, Ali was dangerous, but his crossing was shite. Doing nothing went anywhere. You know, he looked so dangerous. They had to like team up on him. But there's just no end product. And the difference is, and you think of a lot of Bishop's goals in the Championship have come from a Murphy cross. And he is missing Murphy.
Yeah, definitely.
But I still think people don't see what he actually brings to the team. And if anything, he needs to be more selfish. He sort of will win a ball 25 yards from goal. The wingers will then cross it in. Seggers is there waiting or whoever, and he's still outside the box. You know, maybe he needs to stop playing. But then if that's his instructions by News, then that's his instructions that he has to play to. So, but a big moment for him. Hopefully that'll give him some sort of lift, especially after the last penalty he missed. And then, wow, what do we say about the third goal? You walk us through it.
Well, I think Terry Devlin summed it up himself quite well, didn't he? Obviously, he's got the confidence from the first one with a bit of luck on his side, obviously with the keeper, but he goes to, it just arrives at his foot, doesn't it? And he's just inside our half and he goes for a little run kind of on the edge of the penalty box. And as he said, he's got 2,500 Pompey fans, obviously after the first goal, shouting shoot, and he goes, fuck it, all right then, I will. And so it's an unbelievable strike, honestly. It's a class strike. It's the kind of goal you'd expect to see on like a Champions League goal of the season reel. It's definitely our goal of the season so far.
I'd say it's the best goal we've scored since we've been back in the Championship.
It's better than, well, I don't know. It's better than Williams and Swanson's against Millwall.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
The
swag
it's,
of it.
It's the curve. The fact it goes from in to out, it completely curving away from Kaminsky. There's nothing he can do. I mean, you saw we shared it on our feed of Messino. He's like thinks he's missed. And he admitted he thought it went inside netting, and then he thinks it looks like he's going to go and do a full-on Jose against Old Trafford for Porto and sprint down the tunnel, sprint to the corner flag. And then he puts his hands on his head to think, oh, fuck, what's he just done? And then he just stops himself. But it definitely won't hit a better ball than that. And
they've been coming this season, though, haven't they? I remember he did one against Scum at their ground.
Yeah.
He's done a few others.
I think it's weird because he only arrived at 19 for like $100,000 from Ireland, Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And he's just, this season, more than any, his progression has just gone through the roof and he's been so good. I mean, I'll let Miltos speak about how good Terry Devlin's been. You know, until November, he hadn't really started many games. I think he'd only started in the League Cup.
But now Moves made it clear he's my right back.
Well, yeah, Swanson at the minute is just doing bits at the back, at left back,
and Ogilvie. I've always preferred Ogilvie as a centre back. I've always said he's a better centre back than a left back. And what Swanson is so clever for being a right-footed at left back is he kind of defends side on. I don't know if you noticed. So even if they try and go down his left, he still uses his outside of his right foot to tackle them. He looks better left back than he ever did right back.
He's a bit like Jed Spence for Spurs, because Spence is the same.
Yeah,
he looks better at left back than a right back, and he's kept Udogie out when he has been fit, and he's just got that ability to kind of do the business.
definitely.
Well, Miltos, go on. Talk to us about Terry Devlin. What did you think as that, when the ball goes in?
Honestly, that was, I think the best goal that we've scored since our return in the championship. And the lad just keeps going, just keeps getting better and better. I think his progression since the summer of 2023 has been just immense. And it's very, very easy to forget that he's still only 22. Like,
Crazy.
I was listening to Marlon Park the other day. His professionalism, the fact that he's always first into training and the last one to leave, and just his whole attitude seems to be top for a player his age. And that's a real sentiment to him, and the real key, I think, to why he's been so good and how he's been able to step up this season is genuinely tremendous work on his behalf. It really is. And Zach Swanson as well. It's very, very easy to forget about all of the injury problems that Swanson has had over the, 4 seasons that he's been with us now. So not a little time. But this season he's gone above and beyond. I think, not just with the fact that he's in the fittest period that he's ever been, but the consistency of his performances, I think, has been top. And then overall, the performance against Charlton was very, very good. We were ruthless. You mentioned John Swift briefly there. I thought he was very decent against Sheffield United for the 60-odd minutes that he played. And I thought, again, he was superb against Charlton until his legs were kind of tiring there in the end. And I think apart from that bizarre 15-20 minute spell in that second half, I think it was an overall brilliant performance. Just what you want from an away performance, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and you did worry, obviously, when they got that goal. It's down to the progression of the whole team. As you could probably go back to the beginning of the season, we probably would have folded and they'd have got a second. But we weathered the storm. They made their subs. Obviously, they did get one back.
Honestly.
But we weathered the storm and we went on and kicked back and got the ball back and made it back about us again rather than...
Yeah, we looked again the more likely to play a team to score, didn't we?
Yeah, and obviously you had Ibu. He made a lot of that penalty shout.
That's a free kick on the edge of the box, though. That's what annoys me. If it's a foul...
He shoved him in the elbow in the back. If he doesn't go down like he's just completing his GCSE drama... Then I think he gets given the pen, but he does seem to throw himself. I'm not criticising Ibu here, by the way, because he's an absolute player, and I'm very sad that we actually signed him now because we could have done with him when he first went to Derby. Because oh my God, what a guy! But he did throw himself down quite theatrically. But I would say more so the pen was right at the end, was handball at the edge of the area.
Yeah, you almost picked it up, didn't he?
His hand was trailing along the floor, and he basically palmed it like he was playing handball. So I don't really understand how that wasn't a penalty. But look, it was a great win, and it's a really good way to come back from 2 frustrating games against Preston and Sheffield United, where you've played well and not come out with anything. And we taught Charlton a lesson, and hopefully we can build on that for the next 2 away games.
What's impressed me is, we played well against West Brom. We played all right against Preston. I know there was a lot of stick and things like that, but we weren't awful against them. Then we played well against Sheff United. Result didn't go away, and it didn't affect us. We went to Charlton, deserved the win, could have scored more. Another game where we could have scored more. Do you know what I mean? And I think Daz said it after the Sheff United game. While the performances are there, the results will come, and he was right. Yeah, Daz, a bit of positive for you.
That's the alarm gone off, Russ.
Right. There's just one couple more things I want to say. One's more about everything. The other one is, other than the Bristol City game and not including cup games, do you remember the last time we conceded 2 goals or more?
Birmingham, no?
It was Sheffield United, funny enough, on the 26th of November.
Oh.
So it goes to show how far we come defensively because of that game.
Yeah, exactly. Quickly, I know as we said we're finished, but if you look at the table, we've only conceded 40 goals, which isn't too bad. It's the same amount that Bristol City have conceded.
Yeah.
It's less than Wrexham. It's less than Hull, and Hull are in the playoffs. So it's not defensively that the issue has been. It's the fact that we've only scored 30 goals. And only Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford have actually scored less than us, and Blackburn have scored the same. So it's the goal scoring which is quite clear and obvious. Apart from West Brom and then Charlton, it's scoring and creating that's been the problem. But in the last 3 games, we've created a lot more. And Charlton, we did what we needed to do and actually scored them. So fingers crossed we can continue that.
I just want to finish on Ebou Adams.
Mate, what player?
Is he the best signing we've had for years?
As I said to you and Daz, he's the best fee-paying transfer since Terry Devlin. Because
what about the last feed player that we signed that had an instant impact like he has? People say Lang, but actually when you look at it, we already were flying. I mean, I'm talking, he's made us look weak. We've gone from our midfield looks weak. Giselle's good, but he needs someone else. Oh my God, sick of seeing Pack, blah, 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 blah. So instantly our midfield was just solid.
Yeah, and obviously he's on.
And it also allowed Pack, no one mentioned Pack was excellent against Charlton.
Pack and Swift with Adams in that midfield really worked well as a really good trio.
Yeah.
And we've said about, Pack and Swift needing Zimmer frames, but I don't know whether it's just having Ebou there as that guy that literally just runs a million miles, but they were so good.
It allows them to be that quality on the ball, doesn't it?
And I think it allows them to have the time on the ball that they need, like the style of players they are. For me, obviously, Ebou's on 9 yellows. He's got to survive, 6 more games? Just take the yellow against Millwall and get it over and done with. Because we could do with him, then he's suspended for Wrexham and Hull, and then we have him back for Blackburn away, Swansea at home, and I think they're more important games than, Hull are flying high in the playoffs. Maybe we won't get anything, maybe we will. Wrexham, again, they're up there.
We'd rather have him for Blackburn.
And they're teams that are down and around us, so I'd rather have him. So just take the yellow against Millwall, Ebou, mate.
Swansea, even though Derby, you want him for Derby, won't you?
Yeah, you think after Wrexham and 2 playoff teams chasing teams in Wrexham and Hull, we've got Blackburn, Swansea, Derby. I know Derby are kind of in and around there, but QPR, Norwich, Oxford, that group of games, we need Ebou for those games.
Yeah, these 3. Not going to lie, the next 3 games look very, very difficult, and we're going to talk about the first one now in Milwall. So have you got any stats on the Millwall game from the ref? And
I do. So Millwall
any injury updates? I haven't heard anything. By the way.
Yes, I did note them down. I've got them here. We'll go for that first. So Harvey Blair is potentially available for this weekend.
You know I love Blair.
The aim was for Sheffield United for Blair, but they're trying to eradicate he's still getting a few niggles really. But he's trained fully for the first time this week, and he is a maybe for this weekend. Obviously he has to be registered by midday on Friday, tomorrow if you're listening now, or Friday if you're listening a bit later, to be able to be involved. So he's a potential. They're all trying to we don't want to rush him back. We've seen before he's come back and not survived. So it's probably better to try and play the longer game with him because we know he has got talent And
he was starting to show it, wasn't he?
He has shown it. It's just his fitness, and I'd rather they took an extra week or two of just building him up.
He was excellent against Arsenal, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Connor Chaplin, he is due to return to training on Saturday, because that will be 2 weeks since his injury, a groin injury. So he'll be back in training from then. So hopefully, probably Tuesday will probably be too soon, but then Hull, I would imagine. Dazelle, they are having the scan tomorrow, I think, or today. So they will know the outcome before the Millwall game. But they will not, obviously, Messino's not going to say anything until post Millwall on the severity of Dazelle's injury. Murphy, have got a final scan on Friday, so tomorrow. If they get the all clear and everything's good, then he should be back on grass next week.
He's still got the boot on. I see a picture of him with someone I know whose kids met him. And
so that's all pending on the final scan. If they're trying to stop him from being on feet as much as possible until they get the all okay from this last scan.
Did you see some weird rumours going around that he's never going to play football again or some shit like that?
People just make shit up and then people believe it because they start panicking. A bit like you do that. You see something and start panicking.
No. Daz has clicked onto it, but you still haven't. I just like winding you up, mate.
I can't be asked. And then little pocket rocket, Adrian Segacic, didn't train. This was from his interview yesterday with Andy Moon. So he didn't train on Tuesday or Wednesday. They were letting the dead leg settle down, and they didn't want to use him against Charlton. He was kind of there just to make up the numbers, as Messino said. He didn't want to take an under-18s player.
He's fine.
So he gets an extra couple of days rest, should be okay to train on Friday, and probably a little mini fitness test, and then should be available for Saturday. Last one was Aji Alese, has obviously gone back to Sunderland as he has torn his groin. So he's basically done for the season. He is still registered to us. So if he becomes available and he is ready before the end of the season, then he will come back. But it's pretty unlikely from what John Messino was saying. So that's a little injury update. So Millwall are third. They're 20 points ahead. They're on 56 points, 16 wins, 8 draws, 8 losses.
I couldn't believe they're a third.
I know they're doing well. They've scored 10 goals. They've scored 10 goals in their last 5 matches. To be fair, Alex Neil's a good manager. To be fair, I will give him that. Unbeaten in the last 4. They beat Charlton 4-0, drew 1-1 to Sheffield United. They won 2-0 against Wrexham and then won 2-1 against Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously, they've got a couple of decent players, and they've got Alfie Doughty at left back, 5 assists. You've got Tristan Kramer. Jesus Christ, Harry. 2 goals and 2 assists from right back. Femi Aziz, 7 goals, 4 assists. Barry Bannon they signed, playing in the number 10, although they aren't seeming to take him too well so far. So they've got a decent team, to be fair. Our predictions after the last couple of weeks, none of us got any points against Sheffield United. Charlton Athletic, myself, I got 2 points for getting Terry Devlin as the scorer. And you, we all went for 1-1 draws, so we didn't get the result. So you two both got 0 points. So I've now closed the gap, still on 17, Daz on 23, Russ on 30.
Close the gap on Daz.
Close the gap. I'm coming. It's that late playoff push. One team always does it.
He did it last year against him. Can he do it again? So
we'll find out.
You don't want to dress up as Sam Smith. So.
I really don't.
I'll tell you what, if Daz loses this again, it's got to be like a double for if he's going to come bottom twice in 2 years, it's got to be like we've got to think of something really bad for him. Because that's just embarrassing.
I was nearly 10 points behind him as well. So,
right.
Predictions? I'll let you go. For Millwall.
I'll tell you what, you go first this one. I'll take Wrexham.
All right. Okay. So, head says like a draw, but they are doing well. I'll be positive-ish. I will go for that 1-1 draw. I'm gonna go for a Caballero goal.
I'd love it if it did. Does he look like a Pompey player? Remember that when you said that? Who was it? You said Ali don't look like a Pompey player.
Yeah, it's just wearing the shirt, whether it looks natural or not. Different players do, and different players don't. Like Ibu,
I've never heard that before in my life.
Ibu does.
Right. So what about Cabby then?
Ali just doesn't.
Well, what about Cabby? What about Caballero?
I don't know. I don't think he does. like if you think of Ali, like when he's at Exeter, like Ali at Exeter, you just think he suits that shirt. It's just in my head, like different players, like Conor Gallagher at Spurs doesn't fit a Spurs shirt at all, and part of that will be down to the fact he played for Chelsea.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
But certain players just look right in other shirts, and I'm not saying I don't want Ali to be here or anything like that. Just in my head, there's like he doesn't suit that shirt. He does. It's just in my head.
I'm still like looking at players in shirts, my brain can't work it out. I'm like,
I don't think Jordan Williams looks right in a Pompey shirt either.
He doesn't look right on the pitch at the moment either. It's shocking every time he's come on. Right, so you went 1-1. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go 1-1 as well. And what score did you have? Cabby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Bish to make it 2-2. I feel like he's going to go on a run now.
Go on, Colby. We don't have Daz's predictions because he's in Paris and he's stuck in a traffic jam.
Yeah.
So, stop it.
We know what he's up to.
He is on his anniversary for those knowing. So
exactly.
So you can do 2 + 2 and equals 4 with that. While Miltos is here, we'll get Miltos's prediction.
Well, my dilemma is: do I go boring and also insist with a 1-1 draw, because that's what my head says at the minute. But I'll make an exception. I'll be positive. I'll be optimistic. I'm gonna say that we win, and I'm gonna go with a 1-0 win. I can't see us scoring more than 1 goal for some reason. I don't know why. And I'm going to go with a player that certainly fits Pompey colours, 100%. And that's Conor Ogilvie. I'm going to say that Ogilvie finally scores. He's had a couple of really good chances, both against Preston, and then I think it was the game against, was it the game where he missed a chance in the air at the Milton end? Can't remember the game. But he's had a couple of instances where he could have scored. I think he finally gets it. 1-0.
Like it.
Yes, I'd love that. I'd love to be wrong for that. Right.
I'll happily be wrong if it means we were 1-0.
I'm on Pompey.
So, Wrexham, Tuesday night, away, again, sold out as well. I can't remember if Millwall sold out, but Wrexham is sold out, so it's fair play. It's quite a long way for a midweek match. Obviously, they do that because they did it to here, so they try and do any long distance trips. They try and do it the same, so both set of fans suffer. They're in seventh.
That's stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. They're in 7th place, so they are literally 1 place outside of the playoffs, just on goal difference to Derby. Last 5 results have been a 3-2 win against QPR, 1-0 against Wednesday, 2-0 loss to Millwall, 1-0 win against Ipswich, and then a 2-2 draw against Bristol City midweek. They conceded an 89th minute equaliser. They've had 12 wins, 12 draws, 8 losses. Obviously, they've got quite a big squad. They've got a fairly decent team as well. They spent a fair bit of money. So they've got players like Sam Smith. You've got Nathan Broadhead, Lewis O'Brien. They bought Ben Sheaf from Coventry for about £6 million in the summer into the midfield. They've got Dominic Hyam in the centre half. So, yeah, they've got a fairly decent team, to be fair. Probably wouldn't mind a couple of their players, to be honest. But they've scored the same amount of goals as we have in the last 5 matches. Both scored 7. So, who knows? Who knows?
I'm torn on this one because we don't score and concede a lot, where they seem to score and concede a lot. So part of me was like, should I just be really boring and go for a 0-0? But there's no fun in that. I always like to pick a goal scorer. And I'm actually going to go positive and we're going to win 1-0.
Oh.
I just think our back four was solid, mate. I really do. I really like this combo of the 4.
Oh, you've jinxed it now.
Ah, no, we're going to lose.
We'll have Bowat and Williams at centre half and left back.
God, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0, and I'm gonna go similar to Miltos, as in a defender scoring, but I'm gonna go for the other one, Regan Poole. And by the way, it's been outstanding lately, in my opinion.
Oh, both of them have been amazing. They really have.
Considering they're both short and all, they
did really well. Bamford's not exactly tall against Sheffield United. They completely marked him out.
Yeah.
But Lyndon Dykes, I thought, hang on a minute, we might struggle against him. But apart from the first minute, he didn't get sniff.
No, they've both been. I think Regan Poole's been kind of one of our sort of more. No, I wouldn't say underappreciated, but people don't seem to mention him.
No. And as they do say, when you have ACL injuries, it takes the same amount of time as you're out to come back, to be back to where you were pre the ACL. So obviously last season he came back and took a long time to get back into what we're seeing now. And I think we're now back at that top Regan Poole that we had before the injury.
Yeah, definitely. Haz, what are you going for?
I'm going to go for another 1-1. Just because I feel like if we could get 2 points out of these 2 games, I think that would be a really good haul of points, having 3 away games in a row. And I'm going to go for my boy Terry Devlin again, just because I feel like with all the rumours kind of towards the back end of the window, it'd just be funny if he scored again and against them. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 with that.
Fair enough. Miltos?
For some reason, I'm feeling less optimistic about this game compared to Milwall. I don't know why that is. I'm not going to go for a loss. I never do that. I'm going to go for 1-0 as well. And I'm going to go with a player that's also come close a few times in the past couple games. And that is John Swift. I think that a goal is coming to him.
Great shout.
I can see him bagging one, just like he did against Leicester at the King Power. I can see him scoring a great goal. And hopefully, who knows, we've got a great defense. I'm a big fan of our defense as well. I'm a big fan of Regan Poole being back at his best. I think we've got a great chance at being solid at the back. I feel secure. I feel comfortable with the 4 that we have right now. Who knows? Maybe we can sneak something more out of this.
Yeah, hopefully, definitely. Speaking of Paul again, I think he's definitely one. Devlin gets player of the season. No one else should be getting it other than him.
Ibu.
I always wonder, you came in January. Do you deserve player of the season? I don't know.
Depends how much of an he has completely changed our midfield.
Yeah, I know. But the other one for me, is Paul. I think outside them 3,
I'd say Swanson.
Swanson, yeah. Other than that, it's sort of struggling for me. And a big shout out to Michael Doyle, by the way, because I've noticed that we're getting better at defending corners.
Yes.
Now I said that, we'll probably concede a corner.
We'll concede 7 against Milwall now.
But I think other than the Arsenal game, I don't really remember any.
No, we've definitely turned a corner with it as well. So
and
I think having Adams helps.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he does seem to win a lot. But also, I think Ogilvy's a big. It's no coincidence. I've always said, like, I'm not his biggest fan, but he's quality in defending and attacking headers. And since he's been back, it's no coincidence that we got better defensively, defending corners. So, yeah, so two clips you can. We're probably going to concede a corner in the next 2 games, and we'll probably get stuffed to Wrexham as well.
I will quickly. I forgot to mention the referees.
Yeah. I need to know for cards.
So back to the Millwall game, we've got Stephen Martin, who has refereed 16 games in the Champ this season, 2 in League One, 1 in League Two, 1 in the FA Cup. So far, 16 games in the Championship, 71 yellow cards.
God, Jesus.
Yeah, so he's had 3, 6, 8, 7, 5, 1, 4, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 5, 4, 5. So he probably won it.
Averages 4 and above.
Yeah. So he's had 8. He has refereed us again already this season. Our 2-1 home loss to Norwich, where he did brandish 6 yellows. Our record with him, 11 in charge, 3 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses. So kind of a mixed bag, quite an even kind of keel, not kind of too swung. It was quite bizarre, really, because we said about that we'd only lost 1 under the referee on Saturday, who was not great. And then we had a really bad one under Lee Doughty, I think it was one of them, wasn't he?
Yeah. While you talk about that, just quickly, that was the weirdest ref on Saturday I've ever seen. Players would get kicked up in the air, play on the most niggliest little tiny thing, free kick. What that was.
Yeah. And then we had the referee on Tuesday, who we'd only won one under, and we did it. So maybe the referees don't have anything to do with it. Then referee for for Wrexham rather, is Tom Reeves. Has mostly kind of done a lot of League One and League Two, 7 and 6 respectively, 4 in the Championship. He has refereed us again already this season. He refereed our 1-0 away loss to Swansea. And not many cards. He's quite, really, in the Championship it's 3-1, 4-5, 4-2, 5-1, 4 in League One. And I probably wouldn't touch him card-wise. But we've had on 6 games under him, 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. So again, a mixed bag of results.
Cool. Right. Do you want to do your...
No Taskmaster.
Oh, I needed both of you.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Daz is such a letdown.
Yeah. And it was and I had one sort of based on a bit more 90 stuff for Daz and not for you, so...
Fair enough. Right, here we go then.
We had 2 losers last week, didn't we?
You did. You did.
Oh, not allowed to cut my hair until we win.
And one of them was Dave Kitson, who I heard speak the other day on a podcast.
Oh my God, yes. Did you want the same one as me?
Yeah, and I didn't actually listen to it. I saw a clip, but I can't believe he sounds like he went to Eton.
It's incredible. He's very... hats off, he's very intelligent.
Yeah, well, he doesn't... Oh, he just looked like a big, like, kind of Cockney oik kind of look. No offence to Dave Kitson. But I didn't expect him to be so well-mannered. It was like I was listening to that William Hanson bloke.
Yeah, I was expecting John Hartson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And then was disappointed he never ever spoke about us. So
I'm glad I didn't waste my whole time then.
When it got to the point where the bloke went, Well, that's the end of your football career. I thought you didn't even fucking talk about us. Oh, well, sorry.
Right. So clue number 1 for this week. I was loaned to Pompey in the January window and played 13 times for them.
Right. Loan to Pompey in January. 13 times. D'Alessandro. Yeah, I thought he might have picked a Charlton mad goal scorer.
Clue number 2. I played with Jamal Lowe, Lee Brown and Patrick Adjemang, but not at Pompey.
Lee Brown, Patrick Adjemang, and...
Who was the third one?
I can never remember the third one.
Jamal Lowe.
Rallo, that's it, right. So those what? Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea, Wigan. This is hard.
Yeah, especially as it's just you, so there's no...
Just trying to think where the others have played. Lee
To be fair, Miltos can join in if you're still there, mate. If you can think of anyone.
Lee Brown is what? Wimbledon. You go anywhere else? Oh, Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers, Wimbledon. Is that the only clubs Lee Brown's played for? So I might narrow down on Lee Brown.
Well, if that's what you think, he might have done. He might have played for someone else. That's it, maybe. Three club career, maybe?
I'm just trying to think. He was at Bristol Rovers and us a long time.
I've got a name in the back of my head, but Lee Brown is making me struggle a little bit. I'm gonna say Miles Bert Harris, but I don't know about Lee Brown.
It's not a bad shout.
Sorry, Miltos, I don't like doing that to guests, but, it's game's game. Russ, what's your guess? Have you got one yet?
Well, I'm pretty confident. I know he come through the QPR academy, but I have no idea if he actually played for him or not. So I'm going to narrow down on
Lee from football.
Lee Brown, yeah, Bristol Rovers and Wimbledon. Just trying to think of a player we've loaned that's played for either club.
Stay tuned from Lee from football, by the way.
Yes. Can't wait for that. Fucking hell, I can't think of anyone that's even played. What is it? You can't think. You can give me 100 quid right now. I can tell you one Pompey player's played for Wimbledon. Just to move on, I'm going to say Lee Evans, but I know it's wrong because I think he only played like 5 times.
He also didn't play. He also didn't join us in January. Lee Evans.
Technically, when like March.
It was February.
Yeah. I was just doing it just to.
Yeah, that's what they all say. I should have
just said like Noel Blake.
Last clue. I made 520 appearances in my career, scoring 48 times.
At least ain't a goalie.
None of them for Pompey, by the way. I'll give you that as a little added extra.
Okay. 13 times. Didn't score for Pompey. Played a lot of games.
He did play a lot of games.
That tells me he's a retired player then. Either that or you were purposely saying them type of words like played a lot of games, not playing.
No, I'd say it in the tense it is. If they were still playing, I would say playing.
Okay. Oh, fucking hell. Right, forget who they used to play with. Let's try and think back to loans in January. Seddon. Ooh, said in at Wimbledon. Said in at Wimbledon? No, but he scored. So it can't be him. Scored a belter and all.
He did.
Ratatouille
had a great left foot.
Yeah. I loved him for the short spell he was here.
He's another one of them players that you think, oh yeah, go and sign for a permanent, and then his career hasn't gone quite the right direction after.
Yeah, I'm shocked it fell off the way it did because he looked so good. But then there must be something about left backs with wands. You look at Dion Donoghue. You look at Jack Sparks.
Yeah. did you see Sparks got well rinsed by Steve Evans the other day?
Absolutely rinsed to fuck, mate. Yeah, so I reckon where they're left-footed, do they look better? Is that what it is, do you reckon?
I don't know. Maybe.
Back
to task, Russ. Come on.
I am. I'm trying to stall for time.
Do you want me to run over the clues again?
No, I'm happy with the clues. I'm now going down the route of January windows and trying to think of players we loaned and sort of work my way, who might have played with them from that. But I'm struggling. Really am struggling. Is Miltos still there? Has he got any ideas?
I'm still here and I'm still struggling. Lee Brown is making it really difficult for me because I thought of Jack Watmore. Because I think he did play, or maybe not, with Jamal Lowe later on, or Connor Chaplin then again, who played with Jamal Lowe at another club. I'm struggling, really am.
But don't forget, the players that I've named have also played for Pompey, but not at the same time as this player.
Mm.
So Chaplin played with Lowe at Pompey. So
fair enough then.
And then Adjumane's because you think how long his career's been.
I do try and throw a rogue one in there just to throw you off.
I have no idea if he even played 13 games. Just because he's sort of player that sort of spans quite long, and I can imagine playing 500 games. I'm going to go for James Vaughan. Can I have an extra guess as Daz ain't here?
You can. I will find another clue for you. What kind of clue you want in? Do you want goals? Something on goals, or do you want me to name another club? Do you want me to name?
Give me another club he's played for.
Okay, I'll give you where they started their career. Then that might be the best one. Is Crystal Palace.
Ooh, Crystal Palace. So I feel like this is a player that might have played for us ages ago, and later in his career ended up at a Wimbledon with Lee Brown, or do you mean? Don't know why I'm saying it to you because you know the answer. I'm acting like Daz is still here.
He's busy, mate.
Yeah, he's very busy.
Hot dogs for tea.
Yep. Start to think of a player and I'm like, oh no, they scored. Honestly, I have no idea. Is this one I'll kick myself with?
Where will you kick? You kick yourself every week that you don't get it, so probably.
No, just a yes or no to this. Is this since 2013?
No.
This could. Oh God.
Do you concede?
Oh.
But I'll give you more clues until you get it.
I've got one last stab. Then one last stab. I have no, because he was at Arsenal first. Or did they get him from Palace?
Oh, he's doubting himself now, lads. Come on in.
Every time I think of a player, I'm like, no, it can't be him. It can't be him. So I'm not saying this is my answer, but I was thinking Jermaine Pennant. But did Arsenal get him from Palace, or did he come through their academy? I'm not too sure.
See, then you got to think, have we had Jermaine Pennant before?
What do you mean?
As in, have I used him before?
Oh God.
Because you might be using a player I've already done.
Damn it. You stop making me doubt myself.
Not saying I have, but you know.
Can't be anyone older than that. It's got to be around late Prem. Oh, God, this is horrible.
Right, I'm going to start to move it on. I'm going to tell you their clubs in order.
Right, okay.
So, Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Spurs. Pompey.
Routledge.
Yes.
Fuck's sake, I didn't go far enough back. As soon as you said Palace, Spurs, I was like, fuck's sake, Routledge. When did he play with any of them? Especially Lee Brown.
So he played with Lee Brown at QPR.
I said QPR, didn't I? But did he actually play from them, Brown?
Yes.
That's annoying.
He played with Patrick Adjemang at QPR as well.
Yeah,
and he overlapped with Jamal Lowe at Swansea.
Yeah, of course he would have done.
Because Swansea, he was there, that was the longest of his career, and that was one of the only times, I think, was it the only time or one of the only times? Hang on. He scored 25 goals for them, and that was his top club he scored for.
Yeah.
It's the only time he reached double figures for Palace with 10 goals in 110 appearances, and he reached 25 goals and 259 for Swansea over 10 years. Which isn't very good.
He was that player when he first come through, you really thought he was going to be something when he was at Palace.
Yeah.
And then he did the
That's why he got the move. It's probably why he got the move to Spurs.
Yeah, and it just never happened for him at the Premier League level. Even for us, he never looked anything doing.
Yeah.
I got one criticism though. You said he never scored for us. He scored against Man United.
Did he? Well, I will then put that down to Wikipedia.
Yeah. No, he did. He scored against United when we were.
I do apologise to that. Wikipedia tells me he didn't score. Was it in the cup?
No.
It was in the league, was it?
It was in the league. It was. I remember it. We were losing 3-0. Taylor went to have a shot from miles out, sliced it into Routledge Park, and I think he had a simple tap in.
My apologies.
That's all right. We'll call that a draw.
Sorry. According to Transfermarkt, he scored twice.
Oh, what was his second goal? I remember that one.
In the Premier League.
Jesus. Oh, that's...
I do apologise. Wikipedia was wrong, so anyone that got that wrong, you can have that as a win.
I like to win. When I win, I want to win. I'm happy to call it a draw. I'm happy to call it null and void.
Shake hands and move on.
Yeah, we're still only lost 2 in a row. Cool, brilliant. Right, any other business? Has you brought it up? I didn't even know what was going on in the group chat. The interview with the Eisners. Let's just say, did you get the impression that he thought, no one will see this? I'm just going to say what I want.
I think what he said was very careless.
The bit that got my back up, and I think everyone's back up, is he built it from scratch. Because that's a slap in the face to the fans.
There is, okay, they bought, well, one they said it was multiple careless words, really, wasn't it? Because he said that he built it from scratch, which is absolute bollocks. I'll call it for what it is. I don't really care. It is bollocks. That's not true. and it does massive disservice to the amount of people and what they did from the Portsmouth Supporters Trust and all of the fans that bought into it and paid their share, bought their shares and everything. It completely it basically kind of disregards anything that anyone else has done, from, Ian McInnes and the other people on the PST board then, and all of the people that have put their money in. Then also saying that they looked at multiple teams, which we knew that they did look at Reading, and obviously were priced out. They originally looked at Premier League teams, that he said, and obviously cost too much money for themselves. So he said that, the club had no value. Again, very kind of careless with the word choice. I think a lower value or something like that would have been okay to get away with, because if you are looking at Premier League teams or high Championship teams, we are going to be a lower value, and we are going to be less. You can't beat around the bush. But saying no value, again, it goes with he's built it from scratch. I do appreciate that they have tarted up Fratton Park. They've bought the training ground. And I appreciate that does cost money, but to say from scratch, as in,
You even said we built a new stand.
I'm sorry, you haven't.
No.
You've refreshed it. The south stand, the top half's made of plywood. The bottom half is basically kind of temporary seating, scaffolding that's built over probably a bunch of space. The Milton end, they didn't want to do what Wrexham did, where Wrexham had the same under their cop stand, where they had toxic waste or wasteland that should have been got rid of. Wrexham decided to excavate it and get rid of it. We decided to just build on top of it. So again, that's a choice that they've made. Maybe if it's cost effective to what they want, that's okay.
To be fair to the Wrexham side of things, they have been given the money to build their stadium.
Well, you don't ask, you don't get, right?
No. Well, he's asked for a bridge. You don't even get that. Let alone a whole new stadium.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's tough because they have done good things here, and you can't deny that. But I think what's got a lot of people's backs up is the comments of the from scratch, and it's upset a lot of people. And then you move on to the other comments of, he's kind of said that he doesn't run the club, he doesn't own it. He said that he bought it to kind of as a fun thing for his son, for Breck, Anders and Eric to do. Paraphrasing there.
Well, we knew that Eric runs the club. That bit wasn't.
But to say that he lends money to them, but then he also says
it's complicated as well.
He said it was a mess.
Yeah.
Is what he said, which is also worrying and bizarre, because the club is technically owned by Tornante, who are a private equity firm who buy into businesses. Now, they are owned by Michael Eisner. Tornante is owned by Michael Eisner. The three sons, Eric, Breck and Anders, are directors on the board of Tornante and also on the board of Portsmouth. To be on the board as a director, you have to be also, as well as the owner, to be a director, you have to also pass the EFL fit and proper persons test. So there's technically nothing wrong with them running the club, which again, I assume they would. Is he 93, I think? 92, 93?
He is old.
He is getting on, and he's not going to be involved in the day-to-day runnings. One, because they're in America, and that's why they've got Andrew Cullen. But also his age, he's going to have known buying it that he's not going to be around for the next 50 years to oversee everything. So that's where the likes of Eric's been the most prominent of the three brothers.
I didn't even know one of them existed.
Well, Anders.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of he directs some of the BoJack Horsemen, obviously, which they own and produce as well. But But again, that throws saying that he kind of just he gives them money and funds what they want to do, and it's a mess. Again, just feels bizarre and careless. Again, according to Company's House, it is owned by him, which is technically owned by Tonante, which is owned by him. Kind of, you go back and trace it back, but again, it throws a bit of a spanner into the works. And the bit that worried me was the bit where he says it's financially it's a mess. Like, why? Why is it a mess? What were you expecting? I don't know what you're expecting or what. I mean, he's pining for this bloody football regulator, which is an absolute joke anyway. So he's basically wanting more money from the Premier League teams to come down, which looks inevitable under the regulator. But again, is that their way of saying that they don't have to spend as much money? I don't know. It's a very dodgy interview. And he's really not made himself look great. To a lot of people that probably like myself, who were kind of sitting on the fence over the last year or so, and especially into January, I was concerned. Just because the backing for Rich Hughes and John Messino isn't or wasn't really there. And then you come out and say something like that afterwards. It's not. It just doesn't look good, and I think it could probably sway some people that are probably on the fence with the Eisners on whether it's good or bad. I feel like it could probably sway them, especially with the PST comments. I think that's what hurts the most.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing that. I'm seeing people that have been like on the fence, sort of pretty much saying, "Well, that's it now." Myself, I kind of gave up before, pretty much by the end of January on them. And now I've got to a point where I actually want them to fuck off. I mean, the love ain't there. It's clearly not there. We got no idea what their intentions are anymore. And I know we get this, the answer you get as well, we're American, this is how American teams run, blah, blah, blah. But
you own an English team.
But also, at the beginning, it weren't like this. Remember, like we would have videos all the time of them.
A lot of that was like Mark Catlin.
Yeah,
that was the other comment, was that it was kind of put out there by various people in the PST that knew of what was going on. But it's kind of Michael Eisner kind of confirmed the fact that Mark Catlin sounded them out to buy it. They didn't actually approach Pompey.
No, he went to them.
He went to them, and that's the first time we've actually had proper confirmation from one of the parties involved that is what happened. Obviously, we know people like Graham, who we've had on, that we'll probably have on again within the next month or so, have said it, and other people that are in the know more than us have said that that's what happened. But again, this is the first time that this has actually been confirmed. It's just not a good look, I think. And he's an intelligent man, right? So to use the kind of words he did, it's a massive fuck up. It really is.
Like saying we're the Wrexham before Wrexham
we're definitely not.
No, I mean, and I've always said it with the one of my criticisms has always been of the Eisners, with the people they know, the connections they have, and the TV, everything they know about movies, TV, stuff like that. They've never put that as an advantage onto us.
Well, you look at Wrexham, right? And if he's comparing them to us to Wrexham, so I'll join in. Look at the amount of money that we're stuck with the University of Portsmouth as our main sponsor, aren't we? As our shirt sponsor.
Yep.
They've got United fucking Airlines as their sponsor.
Yeah.
They've been sponsored by TikTok. They've got United Airlines. They've got bloody is it American Express? Experience.
One of them like that, yeah.
Like something like that. Like they've got again, why has he not gone into that kind of band? Like Wrexham have basically, like Ryan and Rob have funded it kind of through a lot of it through sponsorship. Obviously, they have dug into their pockets in the early days, but they've got these great sponsorship deals through their connections, and a lot of money has been spent through the sponsorship. So why could we not have done that? Why could we have not done a Welcome to Wrexham kind of esque documentary series? Why couldn't we not have tapped into that and got a lot of followers in America, and then you could potentially have a US tour as a pre-season like Wrexham did? Again, they're all things that you could have easily done, and now someone else has been there and done it. So to say that we're the Wrexham before the Wrexham is, again, it's just not, it's not true.
No, Wrexham, fair play to them. People moan about the way they've done it, but it was the only way they could do it.
You're not going to be moaning if you're a Wrexham fan, are you?
No, God no.
Look at the publicity. Look at what they're gaining out of it. They're gaining new stands. They're gaining new sponsorships, new fans, people coming over to them. They've got a better team. They've, 4 promotions in 5 years or something like that? They're now playing championship football when they were playing in the National League a few years ago.
Yeah, and
it feels like we did, when they took over, they had a chance to do something and they didn't do it.
No, and that's poor from them for the industry 100%. They're in. And I've always criticised that part of them. Even when like the Sunderland Till I Die and all that was on.
It feels like a chance missed.
Oh,
it does. And again, they do deserve some praise because some of the things they've done is good. Buying the training ground and
but what?
Doing up the ground to whether if it was just temporary, the way that they've done up the ground for 5 years or something, I don't mind it. But come out and say it. Don't pretend like you've built a whole stadium or built a stand and you haven't built it from scratch, because that just fucks people off. Yeah. Because that isn't true. You haven't built a stand. You've made it better, and you've drawn it, taken it away from the health and safety people coming in and reducing it by 10,000. Apparently, that's what they say. To the fact that we can have a max capacity stadium every week. I appreciate that. That's very good, and it's good. But where's the progression to the next stage? Why are we having to wait to the Premier League to get a new North Stand and things like that? There's not a lot of clarity. As you said, we don't get anything. We used to get monthly Q&As from Mark Catlin. I appreciate that Andrew Cullen isn't Mark Catlin, and he's a different guy, and he's clearly an introvert and isn't really interested in doing that. We barely hear from him. But the owners leave it to him to be the mouthpiece, because he is the CEO of our club. And the owners are over in America. They're 6,000 miles away, many hours behind on time difference. But if you're going to appoint someone to be the focal point of your club, he needs to be ready and available to be speaking to the media. Whether I'm not even, we're too small to be getting CEO of Portsmouth. I'm not even on about us. I'm on about the news or Andy Moon at the BBC Solent and people like that. There needs to be more. Explain it. Don't come out with excuses of we need a feasibility study, but we want everybody else to pay 15 grand, even though we're the only beneficiaries of it. Just pay the 15 grand each. Pay the 60 grand in total and get on with it.
Yeah,
if you're that desperate for this bridge to build a stand, because you can't have a stand without a bridge, then you would just pay it.
It's clearly for me
I think it could be a turning point.
Yeah, but I'll just say I think it's stalling tactics. It's a way of, well, look, we're trying to do it. It's everyone else doing it, and it's them sort of thoughts are coming into my head.
It only washes for so long.
Yeah.
And I think that is now gone.
And it's, if we stay up, it's got absolutely nothing to do with the Eisners.
If we stay up, it's to do with the players that have been brought in via Rich Hughes and the man management of the coaching staff and John Messino. because, okay, I do see Rich Hughes has got some criticism over the last couple of weeks. I've seen some people saying he should lose his job. I don't necessarily agree with that because I feel he's in the same boat as Messino. He deserves to be given a proper budget, and he deserves to be backed as well as we say Messino should be backed. I feel like Rich Hughes should be too.
Well,
If you gave him a window or 2 windows in a season of a proper budget where he could go and get top tier players, or not top tier, but middle to top end of championship players that he deserves and Messino definitely deserves, and he fails in that, then yeah. But again, he can only work with what the budget's given. So signing someone,
I don't think Hughes gets the praise he deserves either.
Taking the gamble on Aji Elise, again, I get it. It worked with Rob Atkinson last year, but he did also miss did he miss a month through injury? And a player that's been out for a year is always going to come back and get re-injured again. It happened to Regan Poole. It happened to Rob Atkinson last year. And it's the gamble you've got to take, but it's not the right time to be taking gambles. I'm sorry, if you were that interested in us not going down, you wouldn't be saying, well, tough shit. Here's 500k for Ibu, and we wouldn't have afforded him if he was any more expensive. Here's, what else did we pay? Well, so we got 2 million for Lang. We bought, who else did we get in January? We got Jacob Brown on loan, Millie Ali on loan. Caballero, again, he's a loan with an option.
Jojo.
Okay, what he cost supposedly was about £300,000.
Something like that.
That's not backing the manager, and that's not giving the director of football the correct amount of money to go and sort out your team when you've got fucking over a whole 11 injured.
And Messino comments about Ajise of, well, we're not in the market to buy ready fit championship players. That's not a knock on Hughes.
No,
that's a knock on.
Again, Hughes can only do with what the budget he's been given.
Hughes has gone, I can get you a championship player, but you know what I mean?
That might be the whole budget, so you can't sign anyone else.
No, but I could also get you another championship defender, but this one, whether he stays fit or not is a question. It's a gamble, yes or no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, for me, the whole of it goes down to, because people are quick to jump on Hughes about things like you say, but no one's given him the praise for Devlin. No one's given him the praise for
Devlin was here before him.
When did he come in?
I'm sure Devlin was here before Rich Hughes, wasn't it?
He came in the same. Because Hughes brought in Messino, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Devlin only signed the summer of when we got promoted.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I apologise.
Yeah, so he's not getting the praise for players like that. He's not getting praise for Schmid. He's not getting the praise for, look at the deal he's done with Adams. There's so much good he's done. And, all right, some gambles haven't paid off. But I've always said to people, you show me a football club that hits every single transfer right every single time.
Again, I think it just comes down to...
Well, look at Lang. He bought Lang for 400k and sold him for 2 mil. Player barely plays.
Yeah. I just think he's not the right person to be pointing fingers at. If you're going to point fingers, I think it has to go higher. And if we were to go down, I think Messino is probably, unfortunately, I would be very surprised if he is our manager next season, no matter what.
Yeah, I think up or down.
I feel like he's gone anyway, just because, one, not that he's going to walk, I just feel...
He'll walk if the offer comes in. He won't walk without a job. No,
someone will come in and offer him a job. It will be a West Brom or somewhere like that, where he has more money, and he'll do well. I really do. And I think Rich Hughes is the same.
I've got an interesting question for you.
Go on.
Let's say West Brom get relegated and we stay up. They offer Moose the job. Do you think he takes it?
I probably think he probably does.
Because the
money that he would be given is probably more than what he'd be given in the Championship for us.
Yeah.
Which is a sad indictment of what we're doing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just that, quickly finishing off on the comments from Michael, I think it's just poor choice of wording and it's backfired massively.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good, and I'm sure we'll touch on it again when Graham comes on or if any other coalition come on. But it would be nice if, we've had Andrew and Neil on, and, they're not knocking them personally, but I think some of our local media could do with kind of questioning what's going on, but they don't seem to want to, which is also another concern of, what is really going on. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of things we've been hearing for years is starting to come true. So,
all fans ask for is clarity.
Yeah, and
whether you agree or disagree with the way that they do it, the minimum we deserve is clarity over the situation.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing the Eisner said from day one is you will get transparency with us, but I feel like the last, even in League One, I feel like since COVID, there's just been nothing.
No, it's not where it should be.
You think we had Eric come over with, I've forgotten his name now. Was it Ashley someone? I can't remember now. And they went on like the Three Lads podcast, and and they were quite open, were able to ask kind of what they wanted. When was the last time that happened? It just all seems very structural and, almost like they probably told them this is what you can ask and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like
we just want a bit more openness, transparency, and if you're going to say, this is the way we're doing it. We're doing it this way with a small budget, and we believe that it will work in the long term. Come out and say it.
Yeah.
Just fans might not like it, and you might cause a bit of uproar in the short term, and people will be like, "Oh, well, this, that, and the other." And I don't mind that. But fans just want the honest truth. If you say we're in the mud and we need to scale back, this, that, and the other, fans won't like it. But I will at least kind of admit and say thank you for the honesty. That's all. Honesty is key to keeping people happy, whether they agree or disagree with your opinions and the way you're going to do it. Be honest and be open, and then you've got a foundation at least.
Yeah, because at the moment it just feels like they don't care.
And we might be completely wrong on that. And I actually hope we are wrong. Because I don't want another owner that's lost interest and doesn't really give a shit.
But also, you don't even, they used to, match day and things on Twitter, and, we'd always talk about every game, win, lose, draw, for 2-3 years. Even when we were getting promoted in League One, nothing.
Part of that is because they were getting abuse.
Yeah,
and I can understand that. Some of it,
you got to show something.
Some of it was too over the top. I will give them that.
They wouldn't have got abuse the year we went up. Only from a few. But I feel like, I don't know, they've just completely disconnected from the club, and that's, for me, a concern, a worry.
Yeah. But also having quite a non-vocal CEO, which I would love to hear more from Andy Cullen, whether, it was with us or with local media or whatever. Just come out and talk. Don't be scared. Not just him, anyone in the club. Don't be scared.
Yeah.
Come and talk to us. We love the club so much. Come and talk. Don't be quiet, because that pisses people off more. Come and talk. Yep. Come and face some questions. You might not like some of the questions, but the questions that will be asked by us or whoever are questions that people want to know the answer to.
Yep. No, I totally agree. I think that's a good way to end it, unless there's anything else you want to say.
No, all good, thanks, mate.
Right, good. Take care to all the Pompey fans going up to London on Saturday and Wales on Tuesday. Let's hope, I don't know, I know we've done our predictions, but would you take a point from two of these games. Is that a bad return? I don't know.
Minimum of a point.
Minimum of a point. Yeah, I think minimum of a point. Anything more is good. Yeah. So
Yeah, well, I think it also depends on the performance levels, doesn't it? But yeah, I'll say minimum of a point.
Yeah. Result wise, minimum point. Performance wise, I couldn't give a shit if we were shit and managed to come home with a point. I'll be happy with that.
if we shit house our way to 6 points over the next two games, but lost, like we should have had like one shot on target. I don't really care.
Yeah, no, I agree. So good luck to all the fans travelling. I hope Daz has got out of his traffic jam while we've been talking, and we'll see you all next week. Take care.